Hey Terry, did
Hey.
did Purdy have his surgery yet?
I heard yesterday that he is holding off on surgery.
Still holding out?
Holding out. He made that decision. I think it was supposed to happen, but he changed his mind.
Oh,
Oh,
good luck with that.
know something? I don't know. I don't know. What do you know?
I guess he must be
Hey.
Joe Montana. I don't need surgery right yet.
Yeah.
Guys, how are you
What's
today?
Good, man. How you
Episode
doing?
86.
86.
Sir.
What?
86.
Wow. Go figure. Well, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
In
I'm
the
good.
mix with 86.
Yeah.
I know this is offbeat, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If you're in the South, the weather's gonna be hot. It's gonna be like in the 90s in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the West, you've got snow. And I do believe they said, California's going to get hit with snow?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who said it ain't global warming?
All we needed was that jet stream just to stay up a little north, up the Canada way, and we could have been feeling 60 or 70 degree weather this weekend. But no, it's going to be cold. Ugh.
Yeah.
You can't make it up.
I'll take the cold, though. As long as there ain't no snow, snowblower still in the garage, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, Terry, before it gets cold and before it snows, tell them about that subscribe button, please.
Will do. Before I do that, though, just want to give a big shout out and hello to Bethany Grace, who's checking in with us tonight.
Grace. How are you, Grace?
How's the weather out that way? Give us some status update.
Give us the forecast.
Yeah.
Is it warm? Is it hot? Is it cold?
While you doing that, let's get right into this subscribe. XO Sports Talk would like to thank our viewers, listeners, and subscribers for their support. If this is your first time checking us out on YouTube, the show is also streaming on all your favorite podcast platforms, Google, Spotify, and iHeart, just to name a few. If you want to stay up to date with our latest videos and the latest news and rumors going on in the world of sports, hit that subscribe button, press the like button, tap that notification bell. You can also share our channel with your friends and family by clicking the share button. Feel free to join in on tonight's conversation by jumping in the live chat, or you can call 475-221-5006 to join in on the conversation.
Yes, indeed. Right. Bethany said it's raining out that way. Hopefully not for the weekend.
Rain beats snow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rain beats snow So, my little brother Brian, how are you tonight?
I am good, man. No complaints, man. Just try to get to the weekend and see what transpire. I'm gonna close out the week. I did watch the Black Panther movie. It was excellent. So I would encourage everybody to watch that. Watch the extra credits because he goes into depth of the movie. So very good, very entertaining, and very well done.
Yeah. I'm just going to say something for myself. I like the storyline of the Black Panther. I didn't know how they were going to bring everything together, but they did. But for me, I love the action in Black Adam. And I don't know what's going on over in DC universe, but Black Adam was good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was good.
It's pretty good.
It had real good action in it. And hello, for a lot of the DC people, even though you put Dwayne Johnson in the movie, a lot of people don't know about Black Adam.
Hmm?
And so it was an introduction to Black Adam. And guys, make a sequel to it. Put your egos to the side and just do what's right and make a sequel to it. And that's my thought about it. And if anybody disagrees with me, send me a note. Send me a note. Terry, college basketball rankings, women and men's rankings, please.
All right, let's get into what we like to call, or what I like to call, Terry's top fives. So over
Ooh.
in the men's college basketball, we have Houston ranked number 1 at 25-2. We have Alabama coming in at number 2 at 23-4, and Kansas at number 3 with a record of 22-5, and UCLA 23-4, and Purdue, who's dropping down actually 2 spots. They're at number 5 at 24-4. And over in the women's, we have South Carolina 27-0, ranked number 1. We have Indiana at 26-1, ranked number 2. And we have Stanford at 25-3, coming in at number 3. And then UConn Huskies, go Huskies, 24-4, coming in at number 4, and coming in at number 5, LSU at 25-1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Purdue
Thanks,
is dropping. I wonder. I forgot who Purdue played this weekend. Can't remember, but I'll look it up. Okay.
Some important games coming up.
Yep.
We're getting into March. Gonna have your conference tournaments happen, and then before you know it, March Madness will be here.
March Madness.
Get your
Knocking
brackets
on
ready.
the door.
Yeah.
Now, NBA All-Star Weekend. Did you watch the game, or did you watch last week episodes of General Hospital? Terry.
Give me some of that. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not watch it. I planned on not watching it for whatever reason this year, and I did kind of turn to the channel on TNT, and I saw, I think it was Luka Doncic just gave up a layup. It wasn't even really a fast break. He just let, I think it might have been John Morant. I think he let him dunk the ball, it was a nice dunk, but I knew it wasn't going to be competitive, or I felt like it wasn't going to be competitive. I didn't know, so I didn't tune in. I turned away once I saw that. So I don't know. They got some work to do there.
Brian.
I did watch it. I'm gonna just ask Bethany. Did she watch any of the All-Star game? Or you didn't watch it? Do you have a favorite basketball player that you like?
Okay.
So that's just something to throw out there.
Favorite team? Tell us about your team.
Yeah. So with the All-Star game, I did watch some of it, as much as I can tolerate it anyway. The 3-point contest, that's always is clean cut. It's really easy. It's going to be exciting. Some of the players that they had in the 3-point contest, very suspect. Julius Randle, no way he should have been in the 3-point contest. And that just kind of shows me right there, they were scrambling just to throw some bodies out there to play. The dunk contest, this is what Emerson had alluded to before, and it has come to fruition, is you had a G League player who came in, not only stole the show, but put on a show, and it seemed like he was, as a matter of fact, Vince Carter has said this, he seemed like the only player that wanted to be there. And there's a lot of big names sitting on the bench that didn't participate in street clothes. And the NBA's got to find a way to either rectify this or rectify the whole dunk contest in itself, let alone with the All-Star game, because it was just an exhibition. It wasn't, I don't expect it to be competitive all 4 quarters, but even in the earlier days, at least in the 4th quarter, they would kind of play some defense. There was no defense out there. It was nothing. Guys was just going to the hole. I think we could have put one out there and put up 20 each.
Right.
So they got to find a happy medium or just do something different with it.
Well, my patience as I wind up getting older, I can't tolerate foolishness. And so
You're supposed to have more patience, man. You're getting older. You're supposed to develop more patience, right?
Not when. No, I don't have. I'm not trying to be the role of jealousy or nothing, because I feel like this in any sport. If a man or a lady can make millions of dollars and the fans are willing to pay for it, hey, knock yourself out. That's how it goes. The fans control how much a player can make. If the fans don't want the product, then the player can't make the money. But the fans love the product, so these guys can make the money that they make. I was not going to sit there and watch guys just clown around. So Brian hit it. I watched General Hospital episodes. And last week, I can't believe you didn't give me the music. You're 2 days late and $1 short.
Well, what did you watch? Come on, what happened? We know you recorded.
Well, last week on General Hospital, Curtis married Portia, only to find out that Portia's child, that was going to be a stepdaughter, was really his daughter. Portia had lied to him for over 20 years, saying that the kid wasn't his, only to tell Curtis on their wedding day after they got married that there's a possibility the kid could be his.
Sounds like a Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
You are the father.
Daddy.
That was
Daddy.
I mean, hey, I might just do a little spinoff on General Hospital. Hey.
Here you go.
But no, I just don't I don't have the patience for these guys. I know they don't really want to take it that serious, but you know what? If you're not going to take it that serious, how can you expect me as a fan to sit there and watch that? So, just cut out the NBA game and put something, maybe some other kind of skill thing in there, and put a jackpot to it, something where that is maybe that I don't know.
I don't think money's gonna do it. Money ain't gonna do it.
No.
Money, they're making too much money.
Make the 3-point shot and stuff on Sunday.
But you don't want the dunk contest on a Sunday.
I didn't say dunk. I would say move away from the dunk.
Well,
I would put the dunk contest on Saturday, and like Emerson say, maybe bring in the G League and have one of the NBA players represent that guy in the slam dunk contest.
Yeah.
And you give that guy maybe $100,000 or $200,000. Now you're going to see somebody hungry.
Yeah, that's what Emerson said. So yeah, I got it. Emerson called that maybe 2 years ago.
Give it to Emerson.
A year ago. Yep.
And give him his props. And we can do that since he's not here. So why do it on the air with him there? Because that would take another 20 minutes for his, to get the swelling out of his head.
And what I would say, Aaron, because you did say, I would just say, in regards to the players, there's a lack of aggression okay, you want to say they didn't want to play in the All-Star game, but they don't really take the regular season as serious as it should be. They kind of loaf through that as well. They just want to get to the playoffs.
Well,
Yeah.
go ahead, Terry.
Well, I think we kind of talked about this earlier in the week. It's a little bit. I agree with you, Brian. Though the competitiveness does not seem to be there until playoff time, and I think that's it. They just want to get to the playoffs. These guys are trying to stay healthy, especially like take someone like Kyrie Irving.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's getting a contract year. For him to get hurt in an All-Star game, plus on top of what some would say baggage that he has with him, eh, I it's tough for him. It's tough for me to see him go out there or imagine he's gonna give it 110%. And I think it's so that you have to look at it kind of both two ways. Right now, it's so competitive in both conferences where you could be a number one seed. That's no guarantee that
Mm-hmm.
you're going to come out the conference when, say, like the Celtics, the Lakers, the Bulls were dominant, where teams are really scrapping to make sure, number one, they didn't play a team like that in the first round. But now these teams are so well balanced across the league, a number one seed might not make it the the first round. Then you expand the playoffs now. So I don't have to play every night because I can get in the play-in round, and I feel just as confident that I can make it far in the playoffs if you put me in the play-in round. Look at the Lakers. They made
Yeah.
when they won their championship, they came out of a playoff round.
And just to say this, a person named Emerson in the chat says Lakers all day, every day.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll
And
see.
we'll see about that. No. I was just saying, yeah. Well, you know what? We will see, because it's now after the All-Star break is done. Now we got 25 games. It's a sprint. Let's see. Everybody's gonna be playing hard because everybody's trying to jockey for where they want to be in position. So we see what the Lakers can do. And Bethany said she is a Steeler fan. Okay, now we talking. Steeler for black and yellow represents all over the place. There we go. Yeah.
Bethany,
Okay.
with this picture, you're on fire. Way to go.
I also think the owners, right? I mean, they, as much as the fans don't like going to see a game that they paid big money for, to see a big name player playing a game, I think the owners are kind of playing a part, because that's in the playoffs, that's where they make their money. So it does them no good to have a Kyrie Irving come playoff time sitting on the bench and hurt. That's where they really get their revenues, from playoff
Well, it goes
sales.
like this.
So
It goes like this, Terry. The owners see the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And when the owners start seeing the money dropping at the arenas, and then all of a sudden they start asking the fans, well, how come you're not coming? Why am I going to come there and pay this kind of money and the basketball player's not playing? Then the owners are going to say, okay, guys, we're not going to give you these kind of contracts because you're not showing up and the fans are not showing up, because the owners are not going to take a hit. So when the fans get tired of seeing these guys, I need my day of rest, all of a sudden there's going to be some fans eventually going to say, you know what? I'm paying good money and I'm not getting a chance to see the star play. You know what? Nah, I don't need these season tickets. Go find another sucker.
Yeah.
yeah, but I'll just play devil advocate to that. Would you say, if and this is someone who really didn't like to rest, I would say for the most part of his career, you take someone like LeBron James. if they didn't have days off or the adjustment to the NBA schedule, do you think he still be playing at a level that he is today?
Who's that? MJ?
I'm sorry, LeBron James.
Oh,
Well, I'll put it like this: we don't know.
hmm
We really don't know. I can't because LeBron is just a freak of nature.
Yeah, true.
and he's
Michael
still okay. Yeah.
Michael Jordan was a player. You know what? He wasn't thinking about time off,
No.
and he played quality basketball up until what, 37
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
36. So when is it going to be the fans going to say, "Hey, enough is enough. I don't want to hear anything about you need a day of rest." Because eventually a fan's going to say, "You know what? Why am I going to turn on the television and that player's not there?
Yeah.
Maybe I need a day of rest, and maybe I need to go watch another show. I'll come back and watch an NBA game when that player is playing." So,
And
Yeah.
well, what I will say too is having a break is fine because you're gonna get that regardless. But the onus is on the player as well to, like, you have your LeBrons and MJs, even Kobe, those guys. They played a lot of basketball, but they kept their bodies in shape.
Mhm.
You can't just work out and then have a long off season and then try to just pick it back up. You kind of work on your body year round. And that's why they have these longevities. LeBron's played, so you say him from straight from high school. He's been playing almost, how many years? Did he get 20 yet?
Yep.
It's close to 18.
18, I think.
18. So he's got a lot of mileage on him, playing a lot of playoff games, but he keeps his body in shape. So it's not just he's just a freak of nature. He keeps his body in shape. As you got like a Anthony Davis, somebody who, I don't touch a basketball in 2 months. There you go. So
Yeah. I mean, you got the
That-
collective bargaining agreement coming up. So I think that's going to be something that's on the table that they're going to have to address on both sides. So we'll see how it pans out for both sides, I guess.
Yep. And I remember, I think LeBron James spends $1 million on his body.
Mhm.
And I remember there was a football player for the Steelers, Harrison, spent that amount of money on his body. And Emerson started saying, "Hey, your boy Harrison spends $1 million working out on his body." I said, "Okay, so if it can keep him playing at a high level of football, why not?
yeah.
You don't need to spend that kind of money on your body." Well, now LeBron spends $1 million on his body, and I can't get a word out of him from it.
Yeah.
I said, "You don't have no problems with LeBron spending money." Well, we're talking about LeBron here. I says, "Well, you're talking about Harrison too.
Yeah.
He's a great athlete. When he played, he knew what he had to do to keep his body playing at that high level,
Yeah.
and so does LeBron."
Yeah. You work on your body to get ahead of Father Time, because when he catches up to you
Yep.
Time's
and get
up.
a hold of you, oh
Time's
baby.
up.
Ah!
Undefeated. So they say
Got you.
undefeated.
Yep. So you just trying to get out in front of him because he's gonna catch you.
Haven't seen anybody yet beat Father Time.
Yeah. Yep.
He sits back in that rocking chair and say, "Hey, why do you want to be 16 so fast? Because I want to drive. Slow down. Slow down.
Yeah.
Go outside and play. Run
Enjoy,
a little. Play
yeah.
on your bike. Enjoy life. I want my car license." Okay. Now you get your car license. Now you come back knocking on the door to Father Time. Hey, I want to be 21. He goes, "For what? You got a car. You're driving around. Enjoy." "No, there's chicks in the bars.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to drink."
Yeah. And don't even
He's-
drink.
Yeah.
I
And he's
just want to
like,
get in.
He's like, go home, drink some lemonade.
Uh,
Father Time goes, okay, 21.
yep.
You know what? The girls say I'm still too young. I got to be 28, Father Time. I got to be 28.
Yep. He don't. Yep.
Father Time's looking at him like, 28? Are you kidding me? Are you nuts? Oh, Father Time, women thinks, you're a little bit more mature. Okay. And
Yep.
Father Time looks at you now. You're 50-something years old, and he turns around at you and say, sucker.
With as much dignity as he could muster, the old man gathered up the sad remains of his shattered major award. Later that night, alone in the backyard,
Yep, it's
he
all
buried
over.
it next to the grave. Now, I could never be sure, but I thought that I heard the sound of taps being played.
It's all over.
Yep. That's me. And that was me telling Brian and Terry, you better enjoy what you guys can do. And they used to laugh at me.
Yes,
But now
we
look
did.
at them.
Yep.
You can call them both two baggy-eyed old bastards now. But guys, the NBA, what team do you see having a big turnaround after the All-Star break? Terry.
Ooh, that's I'm gonna go with Phoenix. I think they're gonna make a push with the addition of Durant. Of course, that's with Chris Paul and Devin Booker being healthy, and I still think they need to figure out a way. Now that you have, I guess what you could call a big three, they're still gonna have to figure out a way to still keep their big man who was kind of holding it down when Devin Booker and Chris Paul were in and out of the lineup. DeAndre Ayton involved. So I'm gonna go Phoenix. I think they'll have a turnaround, get some big wins, get some good teams heading into the playoffs.
Brian.
I'm gonna pick 3 teams actually. Believe it or not, I want to keep my eye out on Atlanta. I didn't understand the Nate McMillan move. They're like right about 500, but the team, much as they can score, they are a defensive liability with the guard position. They're just tiny at that position. But so I got my eye on that. Of course, I was going to say Phoenix. Got to see what they're going to do with Durant and Chris Paul. Can he lead them to a championship? Because this is what they're looking for. He got the team. And I want to see what the Clippers can do. Because now there's no more load management. I can't see Kawhi and Paul George. They just need to play now because it's only like 25 games left. So let's see what they can do. They picked up Russ, but they lost Bobby Jackson. So I don't know if that's apple to apples, oranges to oranges. I don't know. So I'm looking at those 3. You looking at any team? Oh, you looking at?
I'm looking at Miami Heat. They're about to sign Kevin Love.
Yeah, they needed a little size.
He's going to do a buyout from his contract with Cleveland and sign with the Miami Heat. And Miami Heat, for some odd reason, they drag around, and then when it's playoff time, they kick it up another gear. And one thing about Miami, their offense is questionable, but they are almost like a better New York Knicks team. They're going to play defense from back at the old New York Knicks when you had the Patrick Ewing. They're going to play some defense. And playing defense can keep you in the game. And if your 3-point shooting is bad, they can wind up beating you.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens with the Miami Heat. That's going to be my pick for turnaround team after the All-Star break.
Yeah. I think the Heat just don't have enough.
And I don't see the Lakers going anywhere.
You don't even think they make the play-in?
Nope.
I think they could make it.
Uh,
If they don't, it won't surprise me.
I
But I
need to
think
see
they
the
can.
schedule. Yeah, I need to see the
No.
schedule.
Like I said before, and everybody's like, "Oh, Aaron doesn't," it's a typical old Aaron. I said, get rid of LeBron, get rid of Davis. What's the purpose of holding on? It's like you're holding on to a Cadillac or a Mercedes emblem in your hand. You still got the keys to the car,
Mm-hmm.
and the car is gone. It was smashed up and totaled. You don't hold on to the remote. You don't hold on to the emblem. You let it go. Throw it away. You don't have the car anymore. That car of LeBron is old. Let it go.
So Lakers are 2
Davis
games
is
back.
beat up. Let him go. Don't hold on. You're Laker fans. You're holding on to Nightmare on Elm Street. Nothing but a bad dream. You're not going anywhere.
I'm just gonna shoot this out then. So the Lakers are currently 13th. You got Portland, Utah, OKC, Golden State at 9, and Minnesota. And I'm gonna throw the Pelicans in there too because they're right there in the mix.
So how many
you
of those
see them
games you see them winning? One.
Well, no, that's not how many. That's how many teams they gotta get out in front of. So you figure if the Lakers play good, you gotta expect one of those teams to play bad for them to catch up. I'm not gonna count Portland. I'm gonna say they're probably gonna be out, but
let's just take those teams that you just said. How many, even if they played them, do you see them beating them when they go to the?
Well, they wouldn't play them.
LA?
They'd play up on top. They'll be playing somebody else.
No, I mean just the regular season game.
Well, yeah. And I was looking at one of those teams.
Health.
Yeah, one of those teams. Which team could go under 500 in the 25 games that they're probably playing? I was trying to find one.
Yeah, if I had to pick a team, I don't know what their schedule is, but maybe the Pelicans, because I don't know what's going on with Zion as far as the returning.
I don't know what's up with that. Yeah.
So
they're struggling. They was up on top. Yeah. I was just trying to see how many teams or what team would possibly go under 500. Golden State's going to be getting Steph back soon.
Yeah.
So.
It should be interesting.
Yeah. Like I said, no more low management. Cat should be playing every game. So should be good. Matter of fact, the Lakers play tonight. Let's see if they win.
Let it go.
I don't care. I'm a Knicks fan.
Let that go.
Yeah. So,
guys.
Yo.
Congratulations, Eric Bieniemy, new offensive coordinator of the Washington Commanders. Do you think Eric Bieniemy will have success in Washington? Terry.
I'll just first off say it's about beep time. Yeah, I think he'll have some success in Washington. I think Coach Rivera over there has coached this team actually really well.
Mm-hmm.
They've had some injuries that have kind of hurt them over the past 2 seasons, but I think this year they'll come back, at least start the season off healthy, and he can only help them, especially on offense. So I think he'll have some success. We already saw what he's done in Kansas, or he did in Kansas City, and I think he can do some of the same things with the Commanders. And I know we've talked about, congratulating the Chiefs for their Super Bowl win, and we've also had some debates. Is it Eric Bieniemy? Is it Andy Reid?
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is show and prove for Eric Bieniemy, as far as getting out from under Andy Reid's wing, and this will kind of show us like who's been really making the calls. I think over in Kansas City, but not to take anything away from Andy Reid, because we know he's a great coach. But yeah, he's gonna do well.
Brian.
Well, after we heard Aaron quench his thirst with his canteen over there.
No way.
Hey man, you gotta hydrate. Is
You
that
could actually
Gatorade?
hear that?
Tell me
I'm sorry.
Gatorade.
Yeah, maybe I can hear it. Yep, good. Like,
Oh, man.
but I'm happy for him. That's the first thing. Yeah, you gotta acknowledge that. What I will say is it's a little bit of a shame that he has to take a little bit of a step back to try to move forward. There's a lot of offensive, defensive coordinators who went and got head coaching jobs. And here it is. He had to leave Kansas City to go to Washington to prove himself to the league. But what I will say is he got a good coach. Rivera knows what he's doing over there, so that's good. He can just kind of focus on the offense, and hopefully he does well so he can get a job. I just kind of nervous about the quarterback situation.
Yeah,
That's a little scary. Yeah, because I'm thinking of
definitely gotta shore that up.
yeah, players that are on that roster are kind of just strictly drop back quarterbacks. I don't have anybody who has any kind of real mobility. I like, what was it, Heineke? Hinky?
Hanky.
Hinky? Yeah, I like him, but I don't know how he do. But we'll see. That's what the offensive coordinator is supposed to do.
Yeah.
Well, they said one of the things about the interview with Eric Bieniemy, he talked about how, he would bring some passing to the game in Washington, but he said, what convinced Ron Vera and the Commanders organization, he said, you have to finish being able to run the football. And we both know when Ron Rivera was with the Panthers, he loved to run the football with Cam Hayward.
Yeah.
And so I can see the approach of them going, okay, we're going to run the football, we're going to throw the football, but we're going to end the game if we got the lead running the football.
Yep.
And so I think this is going to be the proof in the pudding for Eric Bieniemy, because let's face it, he had a head coaching job, but everybody looked at Andy Reid. Now, if he pulls this off and they have a winning record come this season, that means he will jump past Dallas. He will jump past the Eagles, and he will jump past. I can't remember if I said the Giants.
No.
If he
Giants.
if he can jump over those three teams and get the Washington Commanders in the playoffs, somebody's going to be knocking on his door.
Yeah.
They're going to say, he's the real deal.
But yeah,
that's a tough hurdle.
That's a real tough hurdle. But that's what I have the issue with, is that he has to take a step back,
but not
to climb up. Well, you look at the division he's in.
But look at the division. But you take a look at Washington. Washington almost made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And Washington will give you a good fight, whether it's Philly, Dallas, or the Giants.
Yeah.
And do I see them surpassing the Eagles? No. The Cowboys? No. The Giants? Yes. I can see Washington being better than the Cowboys. I mean, not the Cowboys, than the Giants. But you start moving down in other divisions, you go to the NFC North. What will Green Bay be without Aaron Rodgers if he doesn't perform, if he doesn't come back?
Well, I'm curious to see if Philly be as good as they were. You lost your offense and defensive coordinator, so that's big. But
Well,
like you said, if he can get on top of that division, yeah, he'd be calling his own shot to go where he want to go.
well,
I don't know what the jobs would be left, but
Yep. Well, here's another thing to that. Will Philly be a competitive team, or will Philly have jet lag from the Super Bowl?
yeah, that's big.
And is there something with those players that were the players grumbling at the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator for how they didn't make adjustments after halftime?
Yeah.
Offense played well.
Yeah.
So, Eric Bieniemy may have a chance to, depending on what kind of NFL schedule he has, he might be able to bypass even the Eagles.
Yeah, maybe.
And the Cowboys, you know what? Cowboy fans talk a lot, and they talk a lot, and they talk a lot. And some of them were saying, hey, that should have been us if we had played Philly. But you didn't, Blanche. You lost. You lost to the Niners. You had destiny in your own hand and blew out. But back to Mr. Eric Bieniemy, I'm happy for him. I think he's going to have success because Washington wasn't that far away from last year from making the playoffs. And I think Washington's defense is going to be much better this year.
Yeah.
I think Ron Rivera is a very solid coach. And if Eric Bieniemy is true what we think he is as an offensive coordinator with a mind as an offensive coordinator, you may have the next 1-2 punch between Ron Rivera and Eric Bieniemy.
So, Aaron, let me ask you this. Do you think one of the reasons why Eric Bieniemy does not have a job is because he's been, or teams feel, or he's been overshadowed by Andy Reid, and teams feel like it's more Andy Reid than Eric Bieniemy behind that offense?
100%.
What about you, Brian?
I think that's part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go a little deeper. We know how Andy Reid was as an offensive coordinator when he was with the Eagles. We talked about it before, how Andy Reid was that backyard mechanic. He could always get the car running, and it would run pretty good. And now we see Andy Reid. Now he's working in the Mercedes dealership, and he's got a nice Mercedes and Patrick Mahomes. And boy, he's got him running. He's got him running well.
Because what I would say is Doug Peterson was under Andy Reid. He didn't call plays. Got a head coaching job.
He got a coaching job, but you know what happens at times? What does an organization say about that player?
Player or coach? What do you mean?
I'm sorry, the coach. There's certain things that we don't know that the league is not telling us, a la Mark Jackson. What did Mark Jackson say behind the scene that he can't get another coaching job? So is there something that Eric Bieniemy did that they're almost like, you know what? Got to stay away from this guy.
But there's a lot of coaches that done that. I'm just gonna say Sean Payton. But
Bounty?
I'm not gonna say what he did, but we know what he did. They put it out there. Did he
But
get suspended for that?
They fired the defensive coordinator.
No, not for that issue, huh?
Yeah,
Sean Payton.
yeah,
What?
they fired his defensive coordinator
Or
for the bounties that he was putting on the.
well, I wasn't even talking about that. Bounties.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't even thinking about that one. The other issue.
Oh
When
no, because if you have a substance problem, that
What?
you can't go after a head coach if he has a substance problem. He's got a substance problem.
But I'm just saying, I wasn't even. No, he had substance problem. But my point was, he had baggage. You just named two.
Yeah, but the problem was he's a winner.
See, the goalpost is moving again. You moving it.
Here's
Oh.
one thing. Here's one thing in the NFL.
Yeah.
The goalposts will always move for a player or a coach that can win.
Yeah, there's
bring
some losing
money in-
coaches too that keep getting the same opportunities.
But eventually, guess what happens? They get rid of you.
And then
They'll
you
give
get
you so
another
many
job.
opportunities,
Yeah.
but then they're like this. What do you think the XFL, the USFL, where you see some of these former NFL coaches? You know what the league did? They're like old horses. They put them out the pasture. Your time is done.
Well, Heinz
Antonio
Ward is a
Brown's a
coach.
perfect example of that.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, like Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher took a team to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Successful coach with the Titans. Where's he at? He just quit.
Well, he quit. That's different.
Yeah, because you know why? He was like, what am I doing out here?
But he quit. He
And-
chose to quit.
And guess what? They won't let him back in the NFL door.
Oh,
And that's got to be pretty tough that you got to go there. But I see good things happening for Eric Bieniemy. And I think he's with the right head coach. And if he can get that offense going, he's going to get a coaching job. Or if he doesn't get a coaching job, he will get interviewed for a head coaching job if he can turn around the Washington Commanders offense. And I think he will.
mm-hmm.
The Washington Commanders are doing a solid job in drafting players, and they're staying consistent with their head coach. They're not just firing the head coach. They're staying with Ron Rivera, which I think is a very good building block to do. Even though he hasn't gone anywhere, the team is playing better. They know that they're weak at quarterback, and quarterbacks are not dime a dozen unless you're out in San Francisco. You know, they just
It's the
keep coaching
exception.
quarterbacks out there.
Will they be in the Jimmy G market?
Could be.
I wouldn't be in the Jimmy G branch unless I had a real good offensive line that can protect him.
Yeah.
Because he's fragile.
Oh,
And you don't want to give him $20 or $30 million and he can't stay healthy.
yeah, that's true. But I don't know.
But so that should be very interesting.
We'll see how they do. Cause
Yeah. Congratulations and good luck.
yeah,
Yep.
it was proud.
Beat the Cowboys. Just beat the Cowboys. Beat them right into the ground. Guys, Lamar Jackson. He makes you scratch your head. And you're not supposed to get into what a guy wears on the sidelines. But I did get into what he was wearing on the sidelines. Game 16 against Pittsburgh. There he was. He had on a ski hat. And he had on a pair of shades that looked like it came out of the 80s from Back to the Future.
Oh,
and
man,
I said to myself, I said to myself, okay, that's a different look, and it's nighttime. You got on those kind of reflector shades, but I said, who am I? But the something about it said to me, he really doesn't want to be there. It was like, hey guys, look what I got on tonight for the night's game. I look at him, yeah, get out of my face wearing that stupid outfit. Would you put the franchise tag on Lamar Jackson or give him a big contract? Terry.
I give him a big contract. I feel like he deserves it. Early on in the season, I mean, I don't know what was said behind closed doors, but it felt like to me that the organization, the Ravens, kind of said, "Show us that you deserve this contract," and he went out and did just that. Given the lack of, again, these guys are professionals for a reason, so I'll just say the lack of superstar talent at the wide receiver position. And he played well, and he showed, in my opinion, showed not only the Ravens but everyone else in the league why he deserved a big contract. He didn't really balk about it. He just went out and played. He got hurt, unfortunately. I think where the dilemma comes in is I don't think you can give him a big contract and put the pieces that he needs around him in order for him to, not only him, but the organization to be successful, make those postseason runs and a run to the Super Bowl, unfortunately. But if it were me, I'd give him the contract because what he showed me this season and previous seasons, he's worth the money. Every single cent.
Brian.
And I think the Ravens had a plan in mind, and they're pretty much sticking with it. They don't want to give him the money. They're in a predicament that they either have to give him the money or they're going to have to tag him because it showed that they need him. They was in the playoff. They put a quarterback out there and they stunk up the joint without him. As Terry said, he went into this season, which something to me, if you have a good quarterback, you're not going to let him get to that last year of that rookie deal. You're going to sign him beforehand. And they had an opportunity and they chose no, I don't think we want to give him this money. And I can't blame him for when he was out there in the beginning of the season, he was looking like an MVP. People were saying he had MVP status out there, and his best player is his tight end. And he's not a Kelsey type tight end. He's just a good tight end. So
very true.
He was basically 65% of your offense, running it and throwing it. You're asking him to do everything, but then you don't want to pay him. So to me, I think they have to make a decision by, I think it's May 7th or 10th or something like that. And they're going to have to make a decision. And even after that, make that decision, if I'm him, I'm kind of alienated by it. Because you didn't give me my money. Now you're just holding on to me because you have to give me my money for 1 year. I would probably, if they tag him, I would not be shocked if he say, I want to be traded. I would not be shocked by that.
I wouldn't be either.
So that's how this relationship has gone. And if I'm looking, I don't even know who the highest offensive player on the team is.
Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna ask both you guys a question to this. What team would give up a first-round pick for Lamar Jackson, Terry?
Before you go, Terry, I just want to say hi to Debbie who jumped in. What's up, Deb?
Deb.
Hey, Deb.
You're about a day late and $1 short. How are you?
Deb normally is on top.
What's going on down in Miami?
Yeah.
They pretty much they may have a quarterback dilemma on their hands right now.
Ain't no May. They got one.
They have some talent.
Mm-hmm.
Defense is ready.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Tyreek Hill, top-notch receiver. Pair him with him. You have the threat of him dropping back. We know he has a cannon for an arm, and he can take off whenever he wants. What about Miami?
Brian.
I'm gonna throw a curveball in there, man. I know people have been talking about Aaron Rodgers, Jets, but from the Jets, I would want no parts of Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't want to get caught up in that mess with the young talent that you have. He was already reluctant to work out with the young talent that he had in training camp and, off-season workouts with the young guys he had in Green Bay. I don't want that in New York and dealing with the media. I go after Lamar Jackson. They got some picks, got some assets. I would go after that.
You gotta get an offensive line though.
Yeah, but he kind of helps out a little bit with that. You can kind of makeshift that offensive line
True.
a little. But that's what I would do if I was the Jets.
I wouldn't go after if I'm I like Terry's pick of Lamar Jackson going to Miami. Lamar Jackson to the Jets. No. Because New York fans would be brutal, especially if he's injured. And for the last 2 seasons, Lamar has been injured late in the season that he can't finish to go to the playoffs.
Okay.
So if I think they're both, the Ravens and Lamar are both being stubborn. And I think in the end, they're going to franchise tag Lamar unless somebody comes up like a Miami and say, you know what? We're willing to cut a first round pick for Lamar.
Can I ask you something here?
Yeah.
How is he being stubborn? Do you think he deserve what Russell Wilson got?
Contract?
You
No.
believe? You don't think he deserved what Russell Wilson got?
No.
Do you think
And
he
here's the
deserved
reason-
more than what the quarterback from Arizona got? You got to think about it.
I do have to think about it because I'm looking at it from the perspective of this. He's been injured the last 2 seasons.
But he's like 65% of your offense, running and
What good is
throwing.
65% of the offense and you can't play in the playoffs?
Then stop running them
If
on
you're-
bootlegs. Change your
I'm
offense.
But the problem is he's a runner.
Nah.
Even if you stop the bootleg, he still wants to run. That's just the nature of the beast of his game. He's a
Nah.
running quarterback. So
He's-
if you don't get stronger as a running quarterback, you get beat up as a running quarterback.
So, do
And
you
he's-
think he won the Heisman by running the ball? Do you know how many
Well, how
yards he
old
put
was
up in
he?
college?
How old was he?
What do you mean?
There's a different speed of the game from when he won the Heisman to now.
No, but I'm saying my point is he didn't win the Heisman by just running the ball. He can throw the
No.
ball.
Yeah, but the thing is about it, you're not playing the guys like you play in the NFL. Everywhere you turn, there's somebody with speed. In college, you can play a team that doesn't have that much speed and kill them.
So
You go up against Alabama, guess what? Alabama got NFL players on their roster.
So you think I'm going to go into this again. We're going to say this again. You think he runs the ball. Do you think he run the ball more than Josh Allen? No, I'm talking about design runs, not running out of the pocket.
Design runs right now. Josh
It's not
Allen
even close.
hasn't been hit.
Well,
Nobody hasn't really put a good hit on Josh. It's coming.
yeah, but that's not the question. The question
It's coming.
is who run more offensive design run plays?
Josh Allen.
No. The Ravens? More than the Ravens?
Philly?
I think they're about even.
No, I was asking him who runs the ball more in design runs, either Buffalo or the Ravens. The scheme.
Oh, Ravens.
Running for the quarterback, bootlegs
Yeah,
and
Ravens.
play option. Yeah, it's Ravens all day.
I'll tell you what. We're going to find out next week, and we'll come back with the stat.
Well, we should probably know if he's tagged by then. No, we won't, because today's the 23rd.
There you go.
It'll be 2 weeks. Okay. I thought today. I don't know what I thought today was.
Yep. But like I said, when you get a little bit older, it begins to seep in.
I'm getting old looking at the date. What's the date? Yeah. Glasses up, down. What's the date?
Congratulations to the NFL. They just had the combines for the historical Black college universities.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, this is a long time coming.
Yep.
I'll get a quick word from both of you, starting with Terry.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have a lot of Hall of Famers, superstars that came from HBCUs, Jerry Rice, Walter Payton, Michael Strahan. We're talking Hall of Famers here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
it's been a long time coming. I think you're gonna get some really good talent coming out of these colleges as well.
Mm-hmm. Brian.
Again, I have to give kudos to Dion. Not saying, the players were there. He just kind of put the spotlight on them a little bit more.
Yep.
Brian.
And that's where I was gonna go, because Dion definitely brought the light in, because as Terry named a bunch of players who are not just great players, Hall of Famers who've came out of HBCU. There's a lot more talent there, and it's good that they are giving them the opportunity that they should already be getting to get that exposure. So
Definitely.
I'm glad to see this door open, and I will be keeping my eye out to see how many players are drafted from HBCU this year.
Yeah. Guys, time flew by fast. I guess it must have been a part of me talking about the soap opera.
Tell us what happened next week. Luke and Laura or something. I don't
know. Yeah. Luke retired.
DNA test.
Yeah. But until next week, Terry, that subscribe button, please.
Yep. Again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to tonight's show or listening in. If you like the show, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, and also please feel free to leave a comment in the chat or in the comment section and let us know how we're doing. What can we improve? And have a good night, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
XO Sports Talk. Good night, everybody, and God bless.
Yes. Good night, everybody. You're going to be telling us about the soap operas. What's going on? That's the lowdown. We know.